Alright, welcome back. We're here in the Holy Mountain before the temple, the last biome in the game, and I just picked up the refreshers that are here, looked at what I was dealing with over here. I actually can't afford any of these spells, but that's okay. I don't really need them to progress or get better. I will take unlimited spells. And we're using the same ones we had before. I cleared this one out and I put this in here. Instead of using the plasma cutter, I'm just going to throw the unstable crystal in there because it's a little more, I guess, maybe reliable and predictable. And this will be nice if we want to just like put it somewhere and then get away from around a corner, like drop it around a corner and then retreat without having to keep line of sight while we or to engage the enemy and continue shooting it within the enemy's line of sight. We can drop this around a corner and duck back behind, and then it'll just shoot over. If they get close to it, it'll shoot over to them and explode immediately, since that's kind of what unstable crystals do. And unstable crystal is one of my favorite explosive spells in the game. It's super good. Especially if I had the money, I would buy this one too, and put them both on there with like a triple cast, I guess, or a double cast. That would be ideal, but I am missing some money to get that, so whatever, we don't need it. And this is kind of just for fun anyways. I don't think I'm really going to need this for that situation anyways. It'll just give me another option in case we do run into something. It would also be fun to play with teleporting cast. You can also use this to warp things on top of enemies that are stationary spells. I don't know how that would work with the unstable crystal. I think it might warp on top of them and then drop before it really has a chance to explode. But this projectile area teleport will keep it on top of them until it explodes, which is better anyways. But teleporting cast is fun to play with. If you put it inside of a payload, it's a little easier to play with. You don't have to get as close to things to use it. Yeah. This water material is another good one to get. It's going to do this essentially the same thing as my cement material, though. You put it on there and it slows down your wand quite a bit. Water is also nice to just be spraying around all the time in general. There's also a crit on water spell in the game that you can pair with this, and it just gives you crits 100% of the time. Very nice. But we don't need any of that. We've set up our wands here. We might use this digging if we have to get through something, but it's probably, I mean, we're going to be digging with this wand anyways, and it's doing all of our damage. Look at this. Over 1,000. Ridiculous. Alright. We'll just blast out this stuff. Anything that's down there. So yeah, once again, for this wand, it's just the Lumi drill that's firing the spark bolt that has this other stuff in it, and that's all it's doing. I'm not doing any wand wrapping or anything right now. It's just this stuff. I've got a couple damage enhancers here. The damage plus the orbiting arc are both adding damage to both of these triplicate bolts since they're before the double here. And then all the semen is doing is speeding up the wand further. Yeah. And it's really powerful just because it's rapid fire with some damage enhanced triplicate bolts in it. And we'll drop in. Well, our dissolved powder is going to get rid of any sand that we come into contact with. That does block some paths in this biome, so we can just get through it that way. It'll also let us get gold that drops into the sand piles, which happens sometimes. This biome is a little scarier than the last one, just because some of the enemies in here can really cause problems. There's a couple particular enemies that can end your run immediately because they have shots that polymorph you into a sheep. So if we see that stuff, we're going to be approaching very carefully. And there's enemies in here that are very tanky. They're resisting my shots a lot more. And as you can see, like this, the material that this level is made out of is the same material as the Holy Mountains. So we're not going to be able to cheese things through the walls with our Lumi drill. So as far as this biome goes, if you've made it to the temple in your game, you're usually strong enough to beat Colmy, and you don't really need to do much in the temple, so I highly suggest just, especially if you haven't beat the game before and you're not wanting to explore in here to find things and do other stuff in the game than just win, I really suggest just going down, finding a path down. If you have black holes, don't even bother trying to find a path down. Just dig down to the end and just leave. Just go on and go and get out. You don't need to do anything in here really, and it's all just unneeded danger. We're going to work our way through it just so I can show the different things that are in here and what you should be aware of. This enemy is very tanky, and he's next to this crystal, which these crystals, when you see them in here, they can have effects when you blow them up, and sometimes they can cause you problems. I might just ignore that guy. I do not have black holes, so I can't shortcut through anyways. That was some acid. Oh. Well. Yeah, I don't know what that was. The vapor was my blood, the toxic vapor blood. Wanted to go away once I started shooting it, which, I mean, I don't blame him. Well, now we do actually have black holes to dig our way through the level if we wanted to. I think I'm probably just going to continue to navigate manually just to be able to give more illustration of these levels, or this level, because you're not always going to have that. Maybe we'll use our crystal wand here on some things. That's teleportanium there, so I don't really want to go into that. I don't make fire, so I can't get rid of it. We'll avoid the ghost man. I'm gonna make a layer of rock on top of that lava down there. If I can draw him back over this way. So that's maybe... It's just on fire. He might go into that range. No, I guess not. We'll just let those explode. Wonder how fast I can shoot those. Yeah, I can shoot those pretty quick. The enemy, yeah, that enemy up there. Okay, so that effect was because one of those crystals. I'm gonna get out of here. This enemy, I mean, you can kill those. You don't need to. You want to be really... Oh! Alright, so that's really bad. We're gonna hope we get out of this before we take any more damage. We just... Holy cow! That was a lot of luck. We took that shot from that enemy that turned us into a sheep from off screen. This guy won't actually do any damage to us, but if we shoot him, like, he'll just sit on top of us, but if we shoot him, he'll do damage to us. Even accidentally. Yeah, that guy that I just blew up there was a wizard that has like the little points on his head. That's what shot that bolt that turned me into a sheep. I cannot believe I survived that, by the way. I thought I was a goner. That was about the worst situation to be in this game. You can be as strong a character as you can be, and all it takes is something turning you into a sheep, and you're dead. Let's try to do some damage to this guy from out of line of sight. Yeah, we killed him. So I was doing a lot of kiting there, a lot of dodging, trying to not face too many enemies at once, using the terrain, going in circles, just kiting things around to keep stuff out of line of sight, only encounter a minimal number of enemies at a time. I can show you how to get rid of these ghosts if you don't know. I will have to find a thing though. I can dig a hole through. So that's one of those crystals that I just sucked up, and it turned all of that area into cursed rock. So I probably don't want to go through that hole I just dug. But at least I can dig another one, and I know that's not going to happen again. Okay. Maybe you guys shouldn't be listening to me. Oh. I'm in a bad spot, so I'm going to teleport out. I really need to get the fire out. Fire does a percentage-based damage over time, so if you have really high health, if you let yourself remain on fire, it can still take your health down pretty quickly. there's another one of those polymorph enemies. So that's about the best way I could think of to get rid of them, so I don't have to get down there and allow them to shoot at me, and give them an opportunity to turn me into a sheep. There's another enemy in this biome that can do that too, that's a different enemy. Kind of staying safe as much as I can. So these purple crystals here, when you see them, when you destroy those, they get rid of the ghosts that are following you around. This is the other enemy that can turn you into a sheep, and their little sphere that they shoot, when it disappears, it turns into a field, and if you stay in that sparkle field, it'll do that. So I'm gonna shoot more of these over there, try to kill him from out of line of sight. I need you to stop. That green crystal just turned I blew that up and it turned this all into cursed rock, so I need to be careful of that. Let's see if we can blow that up. So here's the exit. I'm just gonna take the exit. I don't need to do anything else. We've already seen the exit before too, so that was just more exploration to just show more of the level. And yeah, we've cleared the dungeon. During parts of that, we didn't have the best wands. We didn't have the best spells. In fact, for one of those, I think it was the Snowy Depths, which is a pretty difficult biome, we had pretty crappy wands, we had pretty crappy spells. We got through that basically just using those homing missiles alone, mostly. We did have a... we had... I think that was Hisi base as well. We were using really crappy stuff in there and just cheesing a lot of it. And using the homing missiles, and then just a spark bolt on the Lumi drill timer, and we got through that, clearing maybe half of it. I don't remember if we cleared basically all of Hisi base with that stuff. We didn't find a good one until much later, and it did allow us to get through these last couple biomes pretty easily. This one gave us a little bit of trouble, but we still have 180 health, which is a lot. Yeah, I hope the input I gave as I was going through that helps you out in your games. It's really worth, trying to think about preservation a lot, thinking about escaping a lot, and getting into better situations and giving yourself an advantage as much as you can. Don't give yourself a disadvantage, obviously. Don't let yourself get cornered. Just think about it. Think about your fights before you get into them, especially if you're not feeling so strong. Take your time is the biggest thing. There's no time limit, and it's better to, take a long time to get through the game and do really well and streak the game if you can, instead of just trying to rush through it and getting impatient and dying and having to start all over again. Having to start again wastes more time than taking it slow and just taking a half hour or whatever to get through each biome or more. At least you got through it and you got to the end and you get to fight Komi. And if you're able to get this far, it's a pretty good chance that you have a wand powerful enough to fight him pretty well. I'm not going to go over there and do that. I'm going to let you discover that on your own if you've never been over there and seen him before. So we'll end it here. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video series. And I hope you get better at Noita, and after you get this far and are able to do that, I hope the game keeps being interesting to you. One of the things I recommend, like if you're avoiding spoilers, when I started doing when I started beating the game and exploring the rest of the world, I started building my own map in a paint program. Actually, I use Inkscape, which is a vector art program similar to Adobe Illustrator. It just lets you draw boxes and stuff a little bit more and edit things once you've got them down. But I've seen people do this same thing in Microsoft Paint as well. If you want to avoid spoilers, I mean, you can obviously go and look up a map of the game and where all of the different areas and biomes and secrets are and stuff. Um, but yeah, if you're avoiding spoilers, I recommend once you've beat the game like this, start making a map as you explore the rest of the game and discovering things, labeling things on your map. And yeah, that just gives you a reason to keep coming back to the game, keep expanding your map, and keep discovering new things. Once you're beyond this, it can seem kind of hard to know what you need to do next. And that gives you some motivation to just, keep adding things as you find them. There's puzzles to figure out and stuff, which can be hard, and you might not get all the clues you need right away or really realize what you need to do until you find maybe some other things that link clues together, stuff like that. And making a map is going to enable that. Also, when you're doing that, whenever you find a new area that you've never been to before, like if you find a teleport area that you've teleported into, instead of taking the teleport back out of that area, if you have, like, say, an unlimited black hole wand, which is the type of thing that enables a long run, you can get unlimited wands if you go fight one of the bosses toward the top of the map. You probably know what I'm talking about, but if you don't, there's a boss near the top of the map, near the start of the map, that when you kill him, it's not the bridge boss, but there's another boss. When you kill him, you get some spells that enable you to do things like have unlimited black holes, unlimited healing bolts, stuff like that. That's really what enables you to get a long run. And when you do get that type of thing where you have unlimited black holes and you find new areas, go to the corner of that area and just start digging through terrain in a direction so you can link up things on your map and say, like, oh, I just found this secret room, and instead of taking the portal out, I'm going to dig out to see where it is so I can dig back into it later without going through all of the stuff to find the portal that got me there the first time. And it'll help you hone in on the details of your map a little bit better. So that's my suggestion. That's what I did, and I've really enjoyed that. I've shared that a bit, and people really enjoy that. So yeah, if you need something to do next, that's what I suggest. And have fun. There's a lot in this game. It's very interesting. There's a whole ton that I have not experienced yet. I have over 1,000 hours in the game, and I haven't seen most of the stuff that's in here yet. I believe, just because that hasn't been, I've went around and looked at things and tried different things, beaten a bunch of bosses and stuff, but I haven't explored everywhere. I know there's places that I haven't gone yet, but I just have other things I want to do first. I kind of have a to-do list for Noita in a notepad, and I'm still working through it and discovering new things all the time. And yeah, once you get good enough to get this far and can use a wand to dig back up to the top and start getting your long runs going, it becomes a lot easier to do all that longer form stuff once you get good enough to get this far pretty regularly. And it really opens the game up. Like people say, you've now completed the tutorial once you've got this far and beat the boss and can actually get into the actual game. So hopefully you have fun doing that. Yeah, and leave your feedback for me. I don't really make regular content for games. I just kind of make things for various games when I feel like I found something fun or did something neat, or when I can give something back when I feel like I can give something back. because I do enjoy doing that and like that stuff and sharing with the communities. So yeah, let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed and you've learned some stuff. And have a good day. Bye bye.